Three, two, one.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Tonight in STEM. I'm your host, Juan Zepeda. This is the show where I interview professionals in the field of, well, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So how's everyone doing today? This is another Tuesday where I'm releasing this show. Before I get to my guest today, a few announcements. First one is I will be posting these interviews instead of every week, every 2 weeks. The reason being is I've got a lot of feedback that they are very long. And I know that's an issue, but I think currently, based on my workload, based on just the time and I put into the show, I think a compromise would be every 2 weeks instead of every week on a Tuesday. So I guess that's it on announcements. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Pallavi Jain. She actually currently works at HP down in San Diego, graduate from UCSB. So let's go ahead and meet her. How are you doing today?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm good. How's your day been? Very busy?
Very busy, very long, many meetings. Yep.
Well, same over here. So I guess we'll get started. You are a software development engineer at HP. How did you get started in STEM? The very classic question.
It was by chance. I happened to just take a Python course my freshman year in college, and it literally just blew my mind. So
Wow,
I decided to enter the STEM field, and I flirted between chemistry, mechanical engineering, computer science, but I also wanted to work with circuits, breaking things, building things, so I decided to go and stick with computer engineering.
Oh, okay. So what major were you when you were at UCSB originally?
I was on the opposite end of the spectrum. I was an English major.
Okay, wow. Okay, so
Yeah.
wait, so English majors had to take a Python course, or how did that happen?
No, I was very lazy. I did not go to freshman orientation, so I couldn't sign up for courses.
Oh.
And when it came to registration, I was one of the last people to register, and I needed to get 3 courses, so Python was one of the ones that was open,
Wow.
and that's how that happened.
Wow.
It was fate. It was
That
destiny.
that is fate. That is definitely by chance. So what exactly blew your mind when you took Python? Because Python is a very high level language.
Yeah, it holds your hand once
Yes.
you learn other languages. Yes. It was just the fact that I could do anything with it. I didn't have to manually do anything, and I could draw stuff. The one thing that definitely fascinated me, the first thing that fascinated me, was when I was able to draw circles, control. I know it's going to sound super strange. I could control their diameter. I could control how sharp it was, the precision, and it showed me how circles are actually created on computers. They're not perfect circles. It's just multiple lines.
Yeah, just a bunch of pixels, right?
Yeah,
In the
exactly.
end. Wow, okay. So how was that transition from being an English major to going to STEM major? Because isn't that difficult within the school system?
Yeah, it took about, I believe, 3 years to fully transition.
Oh, wow.
I had to take all my prereqs, and you have to meet a certain GPA, and then they accept you into the program. I don't believe computer engineering is as impacted as other majors at UCSB.
Okay.
So as long as you maintain a certain GPA and do all your prereqs, you should be able to get in.
Okay. So that was 3 years. So there was that potential that they might not admit you into STEM.
That is very true.
Okay. Wow, that was a huge risk. So you said you were a computer engineer. You said you tried other majors. Why computer engineering? Why that specifically?
I believe, since I did first start taking computer science courses, I learned that once you learn a language, you can learn just about any language, as far as programming goes.
Okay. That's
As
very
long as you
true.
as long as you pick up the basics, it teaches you how to think. And I can pretty much learn all the algorithms, data structures by teaching myself, which is honestly kind of what happens sometimes when you don't have the best lecturers. But I would not be able to ever be in a lab again and have access to oscilloscopes, things like that, outside of school. So I wanted to work on circuits, learn how to, like make radios, amplifiers, speakers, things like that.
Huh. So that makes sure from the software side, I learned always wanted the program and the hardware, really what computer engineering is all about, really.
Yeah, exactly. I want to know what's happening on a lower level too. Like when I attack a project, I have this need to know what's going on entirely, not just my component.
So how did your family react? Like, come on, it's a big thing to go to college. You're
Yeah.
declared as an English major. How did your family react to you going to STEM?
Well, I got different reactions. Well, when I graduated high school, I didn't really want to go to college. My goal was to
Oh,
join the Air
really?
Force. My goal,
Okay.
yeah, I wanted to join the Air Force. However, I was 17, and my parents wouldn't sign off that. For some reason, need parental consent, but
Mm.
so I'm like, okay, I'll just go to school, and I just want to get away from like parents as far as possible because I was like a young, not intelligent child. I just wanted to get out from under their authority. So I went to UCSB, and I told them I was an English major. They were kind of upset because they think it wouldn't really lead to many job opportunities later on. And when I told them I'm going in STEM, they were a bit more pleased with that.
Okay.
They were not okay with me like trying to go into mechanical engineering and things like that. They told me, no, that is a male profession. Don't enter that. Things like
Mm.
that. There was some drawback with computer engineering as well, but I think overall the way it's turned out for me, they've been pretty accepting of it.
Huh. So, have you had any troubles being a female pursuing STEM? Any obstacles?
In college, no, not really.
Okay.
In the workplace, there have been times where certain people wouldn't even like look me in the eye. I remember this one particular instance where my coworker and I had gone to speak to another engineer about a certain product,
Mm-hmm.
and he wouldn't even look me in the eye. He was just looking at the other guy, and I just felt like I didn't exist. It was just kind of very disrespectful.
Well, yes, that's very unfortunate. Um, but how do you deal with those kind of issues?
There isn't really any particular way to deal with it. I mean, I can go to human resources, but then, I feel like that's not the most efficient way to solve this problem. These
Correct.
are people of an older guard. People my age don't do this at all.
Correct.
So there's really no way to tackle this problem.
Well, okay. And then, well, yeah, I guess you can say just by work, by performing, by leading, by doing good job on your projects. Wouldn't you agree?
That's true.
It's
Like if
showing
I
that
was,
you can do it.
yeah, I think if I had if I was a manager and I was of a higher rank than him, probably he would look me in the eye because it would lead to negative performance reviews. But if I'm just
It's
like
true.
a low level engineer, I don't think he would think I deserve that respect regardless.
Okay. So yeah, politics does come into play
Yeah,
the whole management level. So
yeah.
at a UCSB, you went into HP. Well, how was that transition? Did you directly apply? Did you have any internship? How was that?
Um, so no, what happened was between my junior and senior year, my roommate, who was co-chair of Los Ingenieros, which is a group I was involved with, she asked me for my resume because a manager here was hiring CEs, CSs, and EEs,
Okay.
and I gave her my resume, and they happened to contact me. So I interviewed with them, and I got the internships. And upon completing the internship, they offered me the job my senior year. And
Okay.
since I just wanted, like post graduation to be out of the way, I accepted it.
Okay. So you had an internship during your summer year,
Yeah. Yes, I
and
worked with a build team here.
and how did that feel? How was that transition? Were you kind of intimidated going to work for HP?
Yeah, I was actually very intimidated because I'd never, worked in the corporate environment. I come here and, I own a whole project. There are requirements. I'm not taught how to code something. If I do want to learn something, of course there are resources, but I'm on my own. There's like no professor to go to. There's an architect, but they're doing their own work, so you're kind of like an afterthought. However, it was definitely a learning experience. It did teach me like initiative,
Okay.
so that later on when I was doing projects my senior year, I would know, okay, this is where I'm going to find my resources, things like that. And it also just helps inspire confidence in you if you were able to complete a project on your own.
Yeah. So can you talk a little bit about maybe the work you do? I know HP's it's huge. They sell from laptops to printers. I guess most notably they're known for the printers they develop.
Yes. Well, I don't know about that because they started off as an electronics company, so they had a lot of instruments.
Okay.
As you can see at UCSB in our labs, I would see oscilloscopes from HP. That's what they started off doing,
Oh, okay. I
making
didn't know that.
instruments like that. Yeah, printing became a huge business later on for them, but I believe a lot of their income does come from consumer products. They sell a lot of laptops, desktops, things like that. I think they're like number 2 in the world, like right after Lenovo. What I do is I'm a software development engineer, so I work as a data acquisition engineer.
Okay. So what is that exactly? Data acquisition engineer.
It's data collection.
Okay.
I know people can get kind of like creeped out by that, you know,
Yeah,
Facebook,
especially
Google collecting
nowadays
data.
with all the news
Yeah.
about Edward Snowden collecting data.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, websites getting hacked, things like that. However, we strip away all the personal information before we actually collect it. So we
actually,
stripped away on the
before you
client
go on,
side.
we should actually make it clear that you're not talking on behalf of HP. You're not a representative.
Yes, that's
this
true.
is just based your own experience and your own personal opinions.
Yes,
Okay,
I am
let's
not
get that out of the
representing
way.
HP in any manner. Yeah. Yes. So we do strip away, at least in the work that I do, we strip away all private information. We just really want to know more about your printing environment, your habits when using our software, things like that. Because in the industry, like developer time is expensive. You want them doing work. So if you can narrow down, you know, what part of the software people are using, aren't using, you can save a lot of resources.
Yeah, resources, money, and time. Because actually today at work, we got a whole workshop on how finding problems down the chain is just exponentially just so much. It costs so much more.
Yep.
Time, resources, and then going back to find the original problem. So that's interesting. So so you do data acquisition. On what specific products? How is that kind of combined? I know I'm probably getting a little too deep, but you can tell me when to back off, kind of thing.
So the solutions you get, the CD solutions or any Webpack solutions you download from HP.com. Those might contain data collection. If you install that software, you'll see screens, you know, where you can opt in to helping us improve our product.
Okay.
That's basically where we come in. That's when we start collecting data if you let us.
Okay. Awesome. So, so I noticed when you sent me your resume, so I can get to know you better and have better interview questions. I read Software Development Engineer 2. For the people out there that don't know what kind of that means, can you explain that? Can you explain that to us?
Yeah. So in industry, there is not a hierarchy, but there are levels you can reach within software development itself. And, you know, later on, as you gain more experience, those paths branch off. You know, you want to become like a technical manager, a people manager, things like that. After here at HP, you know, after a couple of years, say 1, 2, 3 years, you go to engineering level 2. 3 to 5 years later, you go to level 3, things like that. And then you can become like a master specialist for your particular lab. Every single company that I know of in industry has this kind of like a ranking system. After you gain industry experience, you move up higher. And this determines the amount of responsibility you take in your projects, your salary, various things like that.
Okay. So, how do you better prepare yourself, maybe from jumping from 1 to 2? Like, what things do you have to do? How do you
I
make
feel
yourself
that
shine?
Yeah, so as a low-level engineer, obviously, you know, you're just going to do a lot of basic coding. In order to jump to the next position, you have to be able to, you know, take a little bit more ownership of projects, perhaps try to interact with customers, market your product, things like that. Even here in HP internally, we try to get other teams at HP to use our product because what I do is software that's used internally by other developers.
Oh, okay. So you get to interact a lot with the engineering team.
Yes. The more responsibility you take on, the more likely chance it is that you're going to move on, like
Okay.
the totem pole.
So I guess that's one key thing about kind of moving on, taking more responsibility and
Yes.
kind of owning it.
Yes.
So I've talked to a lot of individuals about the company culture. How's HP's culture? Is it like So actually, last 2 weeks ago, I was at Facebook headquarters. Definitely very open, fun, games, chairs, food. How's the HP culture?
I really enjoy it. That's if that's saying anything. I mean, it's not like a startup. I don't know if you'd call it Facebook a startup anymore,
No,
but
yeah.
yeah, now it's a public IPO. But HP is an established company. I believe there was some, there's kind of an age gap between people my age and the next generation employees. I would say it's probably like 10 years. But, we also have like a game room, things like that. A couple of like my friends and I, we play basketball. Like today, I'm missing out on basketball right now. Thanks, Juan.
Sorry.
Yeah, we have like a basketball court, a volleyball court, a softball field.
Oh, wow.
There's a walking trail around campus. There's a fitness center here that's free and it's open 24/7
Oh, wow.
for all employees. And HP really fosters engagement between people of all kinds. They also like to put on like company events, like company picnics every quarter, like an Oktoberfest, things like that. So I really like the culture here. I believe they treat their employees really well. It's not going to be like startup, like Facebook, like maybe like Uber or Facebook or Google or anything
Snapchat,
like
all those
that.
smaller
Yeah,
companies.
exactly. But I still really enjoy it. I don't feel coddled, but I really enjoy it.
Huh. So I know where I work, we have like innovation centers, engineering labs. You can go and do your own projects. Are you doing anything like that? Does HP have that? How do they kind of foster innovation and their employees' ideas?
So there's an innovation fair held every year, and there are prizes given to groups who can come up with very innovative ideas, I should say. People it's a competition. They have
Okay.
fairs every year. They are hosted locally on site, and then you get to also showcase them at an innovation like a company-wide event as well. So they foster competition through innovation, I should say. And our lab itself was also doing innovation, so we got to spend about 10% of our time every
Okay.
week working on innovation projects. Yeah, not 10 hours. That'd be amazing. But
That'd be amazing, yeah.
yeah, so you can learn a lot through the innovation time that you're given. Like I learned how to program for Android, and we worked with the 3D printing team. So innovation time is great.
Have you done any specific projects that you could share?
I was able to write like a voice-enabled Android printing application. I can't share it with you because I don't have it on me. But
Oh,
yes,
it's a
sorry.
live demo.
I know that would have been amazing.
That's
However,
awesome.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know you won an award for that, correct?
Yeah, so in our lab, which consists of about like maybe 8-9 groups, our team actually came in first with the voice-enabled printing applications because we did it on Windows, iOS, and Android.
Oh, okay. So can you maybe walk us through maybe the steps how that would work?
Yeah, so do you want like a high-level overview or a little overview?
I'll leave that up to you.
Okay. Well, first I'm just going to say, when we were doing this last year, the speech recognition libraries were pretty poor on Google. I was in charge of the Android application.
Okay.
So I used Carnegie Mellon University's speech recognition library, which at first was kind of difficult to grasp, but I did get the hang of it. I wrote an application that would let you basically see all your pictures, and then through voice, if you say, print picture, it would basically select the picture, and you could tell it, okay, to printer X, and it would print, and it would send it to printer X.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was one of the innovation projects we worked on. Another one was basically aggregating all your social media pictures, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, in one application and being able to print those as well.
Huh. Okay. So it's like, I want to say, I don't know why this comes up, but time hop. No, I guess, yeah, it does, then be able to print those.
Yeah, there's actually, HP does have an application out that does this for you. You can basically log into every single social media account you have and print your Instagram picture, your Twitter picture, things like that.
Oh,
It's
okay.
available on the Play stores
Okay.
and the App Store for iOS.
Do you know the name? Maybe we can do a little plug for HP.
I know, right? Always be marketing. Unfortunately, I don't.
Oh.
Yeah. This is
Okay,
why
we can
I'm
get
not
back
in
to that,
marketing.
though.
This is why I'm in engineering. My communication skills are not on point. That's why.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I want to touch on one thing we kind of skipped over, is your senior project.
Hmm.
I actually have that up. Do you mind sharing us what that was? That was at UCSB back in fall 2012, spring 2013.
Yes. So I hate grocery shopping. When I go to a grocery store, it takes me like maybe an hour, 2 hours, and I don't even know if I want this or not because I don't prepare for that, and it takes me
Oh.
forever to just find stuff. I remember like this weekend, I was in the grocery store trying to find purses, and I had no idea where they were. So for our capstone project at UCSB, we came up, my group and I, we came up with this idea called Smart Cart. It had an interactive display that lets you find yourself within a grocery store, help you find items. It had a barcode scanner, so you could just check out at your cart, and it used
Oh,
RFID readers and tags, so for geolocation, because indoor GPS is very weak.
correct.
Yeah. It we didn't get to this part, but ideally we wanted also to display coupons based on things you were searching for. Like, so if you searched for apples, it would tell you, where it was in the supermarket.
Oh, okay,
And
handy.
yeah, and then when you were idling, the cart would display, coupons for apples, and you can apply that to your cart and things like that. And this was actually a really good capstone. Sorry, just boasting about myself right now. This was a very good learning experience for me because we controlled every single design aspect of it. We created the PCB layout. A
Oh,
company
wow, that
fabricated it
low
for
level.
us. Yeah, exactly. We decided the parts. Another company fabricated the PCB boards, and then another company soldered the parts we gave them because like we're not skilled enough to solder. But um, then we continued to program it, and that's what it looks like right
Oh, this
there.
is the actual
That
picture.
is the motherboard.
Oh,
Yes.
wow, okay.
Yeah.
So the main CPU,
Yep.
slots, serial port connections.
Yes. So that we could program it.
Okay,
Yeah, and you
and
have the
then
SD-RAM at the bottom left,
okay,
and the LCD connector on your right, bottom
okay.
right.
Oh, there we go. Huh. So what companies do you use to make this PCB?
I generally do not remember. It's
Okay,
on that PowerPoint somewhere, though it should be
okay.
under like a
So
special thanks heading.
okay, use RFID. Uh, for the people that don't know what RFID is, this is cool. So it took you 1 year. How many people were on this project?
It was four of us.
Okay.
Funnily enough, one of the girls who actually worked with us on this project, she actually works at HP now as a firmware engineer.
Oh, awesome. So did this kind of die off at the end, or
Well, yeah, we didn't continue with it once we graduated, unfortunately. Actually, if you scroll up, you can kind of see like the companies that soldered and stuff. I think it was Sunstone that might have soldered it,
okay?
and Rapid Prototype that created the PCBs.
Okay, awesome. So let's see, what else haven't we touched on? Um, where do you see yourself in maybe 5 and then 10 years? What do you want to be doing?
That's a good question.
I
Yeah,
always get everybody on that
I'm.
one.
I ask myself that every day as well. I can see myself in multiple areas. I don't even really know if I want to stick in technology right now in STEM fields. It's very interesting to me, but I think it's also something I can continue as a hobby
Okay.
on the side. Um, Currently, I am debating whether I want to go to grad school or not,
Oh, okay.
and why I would want to go to grad school. Because there's really no reason for me to go back to school and pay a lot of money if I don't
Correct.
know what I want to do.
Does HP pay for grad school? Do they maybe
Yeah,
supplement that or anything?
yeah. So I believe they will pay for a part of grad school,
Okay.
and you have to work for them upon graduating.
Okay. So yeah, usually there's you have to work for
Usually, there's
them.
always a catch. Nothing's free in life.
No, no, it's not.
Yeah.
I know where I work. It's about 1 or 2 years after you graduate, it's to stick around, and because they
Yeah.
don't want you leaving, just paying
Yep.
for you. Okay, awesome. Is there anything else before we transition to our tip?
No, I think you've covered everything.
Okay, so actually, not our tip art. It's called now officially Hack of Life. Thanks to Abraham Lopez, or one of our past guests. Um, I know Pallavi has a hack of life, so I'm gonna transition and hand off to you.
So what I have learned in the past years is you never want to take a job where you're not going to learn anything. Don't just go for the money. You'll be learning all your life. So go for a career path in which you're going to learn something. Never chase the money.
Okay, can you maybe talk from experience, or why is that your hack of life?
I feel like your skills stagnate. So I was a build engineer for a year,
Mm-hmm.
and then I feel like my development skills were getting rusty.
Okay.
So HP offered me a rotating position to become a software development engineer, and I took it.
Okay. So always learning, always develop, never get
Yeah,
bored.
exactly. Once you become comfortable, you just don't want to really chase anything. That's how you get stuck in a rut and enter that midlife crisis. Well, I guess quarter life crisis
Quarter
now,
life
but
crisis, right?
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, well, thank you for that hack of life. Um, my hack of life is a little bit specific, mainly for maybe transfer students. This happened to me specifically. So I attended City College for 4 years, transferred to California State University Northridge. And when you're at City College, you take all these classes, and you hope and you cross your fingers that all the classes kind of transfer to a 4 year university. You can be UC or CSU. One of my main things was about 80%, 90% of my classes did transfer successfully. But there's that one or two classes that didn't for me. And then I heard by just years and years of hearing people, students, talk about their experience transferring, I learned something that if you actually go talk to your department chair, in my case, computer science department chair, about those classes that do not transfer, and take your syllabus and take your textbook and set up a meeting, and you show them that they cover the same topics, the same material, most of the time, and I've talked to a couple friends who've done this, they will accept it, and that class will transfer over from your 4 year city college over to for 2 year city college to your 4 year. So that way you save a lot of money, although it's more expensive at a 4 year, and time and less work because you already took that class. So that's my hack of life that I've learned and actually done. The class that actually transferred me was discrete math. So yeah, I took that at City College. I passed that, and I wanted to get credit at CSUN, discrete math. So thank you for your time. It's been fun interviewing you. Let's see what else. No, anything else?
No, I will get back to you with that name of that HP app.
Oh yes, please. And we'll do this. I'll put this on YouTube, and then I'll have a link below in the description, so you guys can
Okay,
go ahead and download that.
cool.
So make up for not knowing, correct?
Yeah, for my lack of marketing skills.
Lack of marketing skills. Well, again, thank you for your time. Um, and yeah, hopefully we can have you on maybe in the future. Maybe you're on a different company. Get your insight on that. I think with that said, I want to thank everybody out there for watching, for sticking around for maybe 11, 12 episodes already. Reminder again, I'll be releasing not every week on Tuesday, but every 2 weeks on Tuesday. So with that said, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and yes, on YouTube. And we're done.